Hello, it is 9 a.m. in Abidjan in Ivory Coast, 11 a.m. in Tripoli. I'm Monita Rajpal.
And I'm Zain, Verjee. You're watching World One live from London.
Grounded with nowhere to go, Ivory Coast self-declared President Laurent Gbagbo could be ousted within hours. Forces loyal to his rival Alassane Ouattara have closed in on his official residence in Abidjan. The opposition has rejected the suggestion that Muammar Gaddafi hand over power to one of his sons. The proposal is thought to have been floated by the Gaddafi regime in the past few days, but a rebel spokesman told CNN the Libyan people would never accept that idea. Sorry, we were supposed to have sound there, but of course we don't have that right now. But Tripoli sent its envoy to Greece, Turkey and Malta this week, apparently to see how the idea would go down in European capitals. A source close to the regime told CNN Saif al-Islam Gaddafi would have taken over from his father, starting a program of reform. Meanwhile, in the country, the fight for control over the key city of Al-Brega has taken another turn. In our coverage of Libya, she accused government forces of raping her. Now she's being told she's not allowed to leave the country. Iman al-Obeidi burst into a Tripoli hotel just over a week ago, and since then we hadn't heard much about what happened to her until now. Al-Obeidi told CNN she spent 72 hours under interrogation, which ended only after a doctor examined her and verified her story. Obeidi described her experience in a telephone interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper. Al-Obeidi also told CNN she was picked up at the Tunisian border as she tried to leave Libya last week. We will bring you more of that interview later in the show. French officials say bodies from an Air France crash in 2009 could be recovered within weeks. The bodies of passengers on Flight 447 to Paris from Rio are lying in the wreckage on the Atlantic sea floor. They are more than 3,800 meters deep. Look at these eerie pictures captured by a drone submarine. Wheels, engines, pieces of landing gear, even a part of the plane with a row of windows. Investigators hope that this discovery will give us some answers about the cause of the crash. CNN's Richard Quest has more on that.
Powerful storms that are sweeping across the eastern U.S. and it's leaving a really terrible trail of damage.
Meteorologist Karen McGinnis is at the World Weather Center with more on that. Karen.
We have really been watching this.
I appreciate it. Let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sport, where the European club football takes center stage. Cristiano Ronaldo is back.
He is indeed. Thanks very much. Football's top club competition resumes tonight. The Champions League has reached the quarter-final stage and there is a fascinating clash. There you go.
Thanks a lot for that, Don. Appreciate it.
You're watching World One live from London.
The U.S. government has had a change of heart over bringing terror suspects before civilian courts. The men accused of plotting the September 11th attacks on the U.S. will not, after all, be tried in a federal court.
I have to deal with the situation as I find it, and I have...
You're watching World One live from London. Was it really like... What's it really like, I should say? I think I'm still, party with a royal couple. I wouldn't know what that's like.
I would say they don't actually have that many friends.
1,000 years of family history, a compassionate prince, and the biggest show on earth. It's the run-up to the royal wedding. What else? And for the couple carrying the royal road show, a pint in the pub probably sounds like a real pleasure right now. Well, our Max Foster found out how William and Kate like to party. It's a tough job, but Max was up to the challenge.
When Kate and William were students, their social life revolved around pubs.
We're on a piece right now on the potential for Kate to be an icon, not only just a style icon, but just an icon. As we remember, Diana was perhaps one of the most photographed women in the world, and magazines would just fly off the shelves with her on the cover. Now, there is the thinking that that might be the same for Kate, but from what we understand, she doesn't want to be a fashion icon. She just wants to follow her own style.
Do you think she's stylish?
I think she has her own individual style. I mean, it was quite, I understand Vivienne Westwood during London Fashion Week had said that, Kate has pretty much got a long way to go and that she needs to take more risks. But I think it all depends on her individual personality. And for her, she also has to keep in mind she is representing, thousands of years of history, a very traditional family and conservative family. So, I think for her, perhaps she doesn't want to outshine William right now.
Monita, always tracking the fashion world of the royals and the fashion faux pas. You're watching World One live from London. I'm Zain.
I'm Monita Rajpal. Thanks for joining us. We want to give you another last look at this video. This is the Empire State Building, lit red and white in solidarity with the quake victims of Japan.
And you know, the U.S. isn't the only country doing tributes like this. You can see the sky here, the Sky Tower in Auckland. It's the tallest building in New Zealand. It is also standing in bright colors in solidarity with Japan.